The world's oldest museum was first discovered in ancient Mesopotamia over 2,500 years ago. Today, museums can be found in major cities all over the globe, including Kuching. Within the walls of city museums, the cultural and historical remnants of the past are safely preserved. In this documentary, we will travel back in time by visiting these 4 museums in the heart of Kuching. The Textile Museum is situated at the Pavilion Building in the middle of Kuching City. Due to its design of English Renaissance and English colonial architecture, the building itself becomes an attraction to the visitors. Constructed in 1907 as a medical center, this building became the headquarters of the education department. Now serves as a museum. It houses authentic textiles made by the main ethnic communities of Sarawak, such as Songket, Karinkam, Puakumbu, and many more. Songket is an exquisite and luxurious traditional fabric worn for special occasion by the Malays. It has become a tradition for the brides and groom to wear Songket on their wedding days. Besides Songket, another extraordinary intricate textile that is popular during the early years before the war in Sarawak is known as Karinkam. Handcrafted with fine embroidery work using gold and silver colored coarse thread, Karinkam can be classified into 2 types, which are salaya or veil and selendang as a shawl. Karinkam combines beautiful patterns and worn by the Malay woman from the aristocratic circles as a traditional headscarf during the period from 1920s to the 1940s. Traditionally, the Karinkam made by the Sarawak Malays are always of a deep red and play a significant role in their weddings. Most of the motifs depicted on the Karinkams were influenced by major elements in the natural environment. The Puakumbu is a hand-woven wrap ikat textile of the Iban community in Sarawak. It is considered to be a sacred object in the Iban tradition during childbirth, weddings, funerals, healings, and also in the farming rituals. Weaving the Puakumbu is a long process. It demands persistent dedication and enthusiasm from the weavers. Like a personal stamp, the Iban women infuse much of their creativity in their weavings and decorative styles. Beside weavings, the indigenous people of Sarawak such as Bidayu, Kayan, Orang Ulu and Klabit have since long ago been associated with beadwork. The traditional pattern of Sarawak beadwork are considered as a family heirlooms and often passed down through the family generations from mother to daughter. The beads are often used in ceremonial rituals, weddings and hari gawai. In this museum, there is a giant walking stick which is known as Tokat Kije in Berawan dialect. The 327 cm stick was hand-carved by the late Saladau Pinying of Long Jagan in Tinja. Saladau Pinying was one of the 7 artists who came to Kuching upon invitation from the famed anthropologist Tom Harrison. Saladau's only daughter had donated 41 pieces of his crafts to the Sarawak Museum Department. Designed in the style of a Norman D townhouse, its old wing was built by Raja Charles Brooke in 1891. This museum was built to house and display indigenous arts and collections of local animals in the country. During the Japanese occupation, the museum was protected by the Japanese military officers. Today, this old building is used as the center to exhibit collections of natural history of Sarawak. This unique engraving wooden structure is called the klirieng. In ancient times, the process of carving and erecting the klirieng was done collectively by the village folks. The carvings of various motifs on the Klirieng are part of ritual and tribute to the dead rulers from the Orang Ulu community. Now the Klirieng poles are no longer produced for rituals, as the Orang Ulu community have embraced modernization. The buildings of Sarawak Museum sit in a large beautiful landscape garden, which is the Museum Garden. The Museum Garden was originally used as the old burial ground by the Chinese community in Kuching, and was given to the Chinese inhabitants by the second Raja of Sarawak in 1871. The landscape Museum Garden stretches south from the hill, leading past flowers and fountains to a white and gold column called the Heroes' Monument. The Sarawak Islamic Museum is a part of the Kuching Heritage Trail that can be found in the city. This museum was constructed as the James Brooke Malay College and was changed to the Madrasah Melayu Sarawak in 1930. In 1992, this building was converted into the museum to display traces and the connections of development of Islam in Sarawak and throughout the Malay-Indonesian archipelago. This museum consists of 7 galleries set around a central courtyard garden with a different theme. Situated near the Tuapekon Temple, this squarish building was formerly used as the headquarters of Chinese Chambers of Commerce since 1930. In 1993, this building then opened to public and served as the Chinese Museum. It traces the history of the Chinese community in Sarawak over the past decades. Visitors can learn the rich and fascinating Chinese history, which contains many memorabilia and cultural heritage from this museum. To stand as a global world-class institution, the state government is working on its new museum campus in Sarawak. This latest icon in Kuching is set to become the largest in Malaysia and second largest in Southeast Asia. The unique 30,000 square meter building will stand as an eye-catching symbol that serves as a center of learning for local curators and international scholars. Designed with disabled-friendly architecture, this museum is expected to open to public by the end of 2020 to both residents and tourists to indulge in Sarawak's rich culture and heritage experience. Museums collect, preserves, and exhibits objects of cultural and historical importance. They safeguard the tangible and intangible cultural heritage of the society. They tell the story of how society survives and progresses over the decades. Museums are more than just buildings that stores all items. They contain the souls of our nation, fostering a deeper understanding of our heritage.